And a good Thursday morning, Sean Hammond here with you, wanting to provide an update on the weather situation. Right now, there's a look at the current map. You can see the areas, the counties shaded in green. That is that flood watch that does remain in effect for all of the Lake Cumberland area. Most of Kentucky, that flood watch will be with us until, looks like until we get into the early morning hours on Sunday. That will be in effect, and that flood watch, like I said, went into effect this morning, and we've got rounds of showers and storms that are going to be forecasted for the area over the next few days, and that could lead to some flooding issues in certain areas. So we'll talk more about that here in just a moment. There's a look at the severe weather risk for today. You can see that dark green area, which encompasses much of the Lake Cumberland area, along with central Kentucky and points west. That is a level 1 risk of severe weather marginal threat. And again, we've been talking about this for the last couple of days. The threat, we're not talking about any kind of major severe weather issues. Maybe like a storm or two that is able to become severe and produces some damaging winds. The greatest severe weather threat is those areas in the yellow. That is a level 2 slot risk, and that is across much of western and kind of the going toward the Illinois and Indiana border of Kentucky. And that's where the dynamics are a little bit better, got a little bit more wind shear over there, which could allow for storms to produce damaging winds much more frequently. But again, for everybody, not a widespread ordeal. We're just talking about some storms that could possibly reach severe status. And again, the main threat would be damaging winds. The big concern for us, though, is going to be flash flooding. All right, so we are going to pull up the HRRR model. This is the HRRR model, and this is going to give us total precipitation numbers through about 11 o'clock Friday morning. Now, again, the flood watch is in effect through the weekend, but I want to give you an idea of why the Weather Service is concerned. Now, again, this is just a model. Keep that in mind, but watch as we go throughout the day today and into tonight and Friday. So we'll start moving this forward, and you can see as we go into late tonight, early Friday morning, let me get this all the way to the end. We're talking about an inch and a half of rainfall for a lot of areas, coming up on an inch there in Somerset. Now, again, remember, this is just a model, and this only goes to about noon on Friday, but you can see why the Weather Service has some concerns about flooding rainfall. Of course, we got to think about folks down in Wayne, Clinton, Cumberland, and Metcalfe counties who had all the flooding issues a couple of weeks ago. So definitely something we're going to be keeping a close watch on. Again, this is just a model. Keep that in mind. Doesn't mean this is guaranteed to happen, but certainly the Weather Service is concerned about that. And of course, if some of these numbers verify, you get an inch of rainfall from early Friday morning until noon Friday, that could definitely cause some issues. Then we're going to have more shower chances as we go through the weekend. But right now we're just kind of focusing on the next 24 hours or so. So now let's go to the future radar, and I'm going to pull it back a little bit so we can see a little bit better. You can see as we go throughout the day, we'll have some pop-ups kind of in and around the area, and then watch as we go into the evening hours. We're going to be watching the complex of storms that will be coming out of Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, and you can see why the Storm Prediction Center has that slight risk out across western Kentucky, as storms look like they could be pretty intense across that way. So by 10 o'clock tonight, again, maybe you got some development out ahead of that line. We're not really sure if that will verify or not, but there's 11, there's midnight, and then maybe storms entering portions of the Lake Cumberland area between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. And you can see the rain comes in here. There's more rain by the mid-early morning hours on Friday. And then watch just this round after round of showers and storms coming through the area. So again, just a model, but the models have been hinting at a late arrival. And, of course, the later we get with these storms, the less severe they'll be. These storms are more fuel-based, which means they need the sunshine, the heat, and the humidity to kind of get their act together. And, of course, at nighttime, a lot of times they'll start to die down. And that's what we've been talking about. The biggest thing we are concerned about is going to be flooding potential. So, again, with the storms arriving, if these models continue to verify and they do arrive late, it's going to be more of a flooding concern. So again, that flood watch does remain in effect for all of the Lake Cumberland area, and it will be with us over the next few days. So again, if you live in a flood-prone area, keep an eye on things, keep yourself safe, and of course, we will keep you up to date with the very latest and keep you informed of any changes as well.